Have you seen this? In a movie about quick-drawing gunfighters, the most impressive trick shooting is by the cinematographer.
Welcome to Have You Seen This?
The world's only podcast about obscure, overlooked, and misbegotten media.
All discussions will be spoiler heavy.
You have been warned.
This show would not be possible without the support of our patrons. If you would like to support our show, join us at patreon.com/haveyouseenthis. For just $5 a month, get access to our Discord and all 3 episodes every month covering movies you've never heard of, or maybe wish you hadn't.
And I stand by that.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad use of rack focus, Dutch angle, camera moving extreme close up to wide shot, deep focus, rack focus. This movie's all over the place. It is a showcase of showboating.
Dante Spinotti. Deep.
Yes. Yeah, my favorite kind of ice cream.
With Sam Raimi, of course. Inventor of
Hanging
the
out.
Ramocam and the Samocam.
Right. Is that where you attach a rented student camera to a 2x4?
I think so.
Okay,
I
good.
think that's the Samocam, but I would have to go look back at Bruce Campbell's autobiography to ascertain.
Very
But-
high tech, yes.
Yeah, suffice to say, I love Sam Raimi, but it took me a while to warm up to this movie. I don't know what you think about it, Tim. I think I recall.
Boy, howdy.
I think I recall. I disagreed with you and Mike about it in our Ravenous episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
What did you
it got in my
disagree?
head a little bit because I was like, it's a Sam Raimi movie. Why don't I love it?
Yeah.
And I have to say, having rewatched it twice, I'm on board now.
Okay. That's Stockholm syndrome. That's what you're talking about, John. that is loving your oppressor, like the denizens of a certain western town known as Redemption.
Oh, I get it.
Yes, it's a little
Don't
bit
tell
of
me it's
clever
run by a
writing.
man named after some kind of biblical figure.
Someone who just kills innocents. Yeah, what an awful person.
Show favorite Gene Hackman.
Right, yeah. We got another Gene Hackman movie, so I guess we can just get that out of the way. We love Gene Hackman. He's great in everything.
He's coasting a little bit in this one, but he does have some good moments, I think.
He's being Gene. He's being
It ain't
Charm-
easy being Gene.
yeah. He's being the charming, threatening, just a person that you don't want to mess with, Gene Hackman.
Yeah, just, man, he can be really vicious in such an avuncular way when he wants to
Right.
be. It's a little bit of a specialty of his. But have we even
Yeah.
said what we're talking about, Tim?
I don't know. Do you think that someone downloaded this as untitled.mp3 and is like, what the hell are these people talking about? Or did they go to our Patreon, subscribe to our exclusive RSS feed, and see, oh, The Quick and the Dead, why are they talking about this movie?
Well, I can tell you the reason that I picked it for the show, besides wanting to watch it again and
Yes.
reevaluate it.
Yeah, you asked me and I said you're allowed, so...
There's a strict hierarchy in this show.
Right, yeah.
This movie came out in 1995. I think quite a few hopes were pinned on it because of the cast. Certainly,
It's a stellar cast.
Yeah, certainly Sharon Stone was very hot at the time, although she'd kind of passed the peak because Basic Instinct was in 1992. Probably her greatest success, and then it was a little bit
It was a
downhill from
great
there.
showing for Sharon Stone and Basic Instinct.
And I can kind of understand why she would do a film like this. She did produce this, and I think had a lot of sway in the production simply because she was such a big star. But I get why she would want to do something like this because it is kind of the opposite of something like Basic Instinct.
Yeah, it might be a little too opposite. And yeah, definitely credit to Sharon Stone, not just for producing this, for seeing it through, but also having a great eye for some up and coming, soon to be A-listers.
Yes,
who-
she
yeah.
she saw a magnetic young man in an Australian film named Romper Stomper, and she was
Yes.
like, I think I'd like to make out with him on screen, even though the scene will be deleted later.
Right. If I can find a way to produce a movie that'll let me make out with this Australian man, then yes.
This extremely masculine and absolutely show-stopping presence.
Yes.
We are,
that
of
is,
course, talking about Russell Crowe.
Right. This is Russell Crowe pre LA Confidential, which I think is what Jen defines her life by, pre and post LA Confidential.
Kinda. That movie meant a lot to me when I saw it.
No, fair enough. After that, he's got LA Confidential, The Insider, Gladiator, Master and Commander, another Jen favorite. On and on, from just up and up from there. But yeah, it was pretty much like Romper Stomper was his a significant role in Australia, acting in foreign films. But yeah, between that, Sharon Stone is like, this guy's got it. I want him in my movie.
Smart lady.
Yeah. And then another younger actor, just a kid, the kid.
Another young man on the cusp of
Right.
massive worldwide stardom, because I believe very shortly after this he did a little movie with James Cameron.
Right. But I mean, that was the 1-2 punch. That was what kind of put him into orbit. The first stage before Titanic was Romeo plus Juliet.
Yes, the only Baz Luhrmann film I actually like.
Yeah, that got him in posters in middle school girls' bedrooms across the country.
Yeah, and he also had acting chops because he'd done What's Eating Gilbert Grape,
Yeah,
among
Basketball
others.
Diaries before that.
And people were like, "Yeah, like this kid's definitely got something, and he's so cute."
Yeah, someone needs to put him in a movie. And Sharon Stone is like, if I can work a way to fuck the two of these.
She wanted Leo so badly, in fact, that she paid his salary to appear in this because the studio was a little doubtful.
Yeah, Leo was an older woman's rent boy.
Yes, and Sharon
the quick
Stone
and
was
the
like,
dead.
"Look, I'm a big star, and I believe in this twink. Let me
Right,
have
yeah.
him." And sure enough,
Yeah, let him rub my feet. I'll take him on vacation to Sri Lanka. We'll tour Thailand.
I'll introduce him to Arthur C. Clarke.
None of this is true, by the way. Although, that said, if I were in that position, that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah. Oh, Tim, you would be the greatest MILF of the century. You would know how to treat a young man right.
Right, yeah. I don't know why I'm the woman in this hypothetical, but yes. I don't know if she she was the one who tapped Sam Raimi for this as well. Like, she's really the driving force behind a lot of this.
Yeah, she said that she would not do this film without Raimi in the director's chair. So she's calling a
And
lot
we've
of
talked-
shots on this production.
Yeah, and we had talked before about how Raimi does bring a particular style to his movies
And how.
that audiences respond to. Like in our episode about Friedkin's The Guardian. I think the consensus there is if you had Sam Raimi directing this, you have had a much more successful movie, or at least a more engaging one.
Or at least something that the director would have talked about in his autobiography.
Yeah, something worth at least mentioning, rather
Right.
than Friedkin being like, yeah, let's not talk about that one.
Right, but I
yeah.
don't think I finished my point about why I picked this film, because as much as we're kind of talking it up, it didn't really hit with audiences. This was intended by Simon Moore, the writer, originally as an independent film. He even thought about directing it himself, something that you could make for like $3 or $4 million. I don't know. Maybe it would have ended up like Grim Prairie Tales or something.
Ooh, was that good or bad?
I did. You tell me. I've never watched all of Grim Prairie Tales.
I mean, Grim Prairie Tales, the movie that you want Grim Prairie Tales to be, just imagine that rather than having to watch it.
Smart. Yeah. So this movie's budget eventually blew up to about $35 million. And like I said earlier, I think that the studio probably had a lot of hopes riding on it because of the stacked cast, and they had, hot young director. Mm-hmm. And then I read an anecdote where the screenwriter Simon Moore was saying that he was, having lunch in LA with Sam Raimi and some people, and someone from the studio came up and said... I've done half
of that.
Somebody from the studio came up and was like, well, it looks like the movie's only going to do about $7 million in its opening weekend. So, and then Oof. That was basically the funeral for that movie. But it has grown in reputation over the years, much like so many films that we talk about on the show. It has grown in reputation with me because having caught it a couple times, like on cable or in hotel rooms, I was like, what is this? This is hokum. Pure hokum. And
Dwight Yoakam hokum.
And maybe it is, but after rewatching it, I kind of get what they were getting at. And sometimes this movie gets categorized with weird westerns.
Maybe that's a stretch. You'd have to have a very broad interpretation of that, but go on.
Well, I mean, that's how we categorize movies these days, right? Like, if every movie can be folk horror, like, every movie can also be a weird western.
Weird western is just western folk horror. It's folk horror in the new continent. In the new
Searchers was the original weird western.
Oh, God damn it. Don't start. Do you think that when Sam Raimi and the writer were getting lunch and they were told they was only going to do $7 million, that they just, ate half of their lunch and then got the rest boxed up and didn't order a dessert?
That would be the smart thing to do, probably.
Yeah, because who knows?
Yeah.
When you're going to eat again.
But, yeah, you can debate where you would file this revisionist western, maybe, because it is basically a gender-swapped fistful of dollars. That's oversimplifying, but that's pretty much what it is.
If I were to categorize it, and I'm going to because I'm the podcast and we're the tastemakers, it is more western than western. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, you can get 2 extra episodes every month, plus access to our growing catalog of reviews for just $5 a month by going to patreon.com and searching for Have You Seen This?